Good morning, Beethoven Bears. It's so good to have you back at school. I hope you had a great spring break. I hope you enjoyed your time off. So let's sign good morning. Do you remember how to sign good morning? Good morning. And today is Monday, so happy Monday. I'm so happy to be here with you on this Monday, April 5th. Who has on their bear wear? Make sure you're wearing your bear wear on Mondays. I hope you had a chance to maybe get some bear wear if you didn't have any, but don't forget to show your school spirit on Mondays. We're going to start off our Monday as we normally do, and we're going to be mindful. So let's take a look at the chart we've been working on, and we are now on the last 5 activities to be mindful. Let's zoom in so you can see it more clear. So this week we're going to practice when we want to feel calm, focused, ready to learn, safe and better. I will get a drink of water. Staying hydrated is important. So you might just need to get a drink of water. The second is push against the wall and relax. Push up against a wall. Put your palms on a wall and press. And give pressure to the wall. Sometimes giving pressure helps to relieve tension. The third idea is to stretch or do yoga. I know we have some yoga bears out there that know yoga, and I know some teachers do yoga with their students. So do a couple stretches or do some yoga. The fourth is help someone or ask to do classroom chores. Well, I know we can't do classroom chores right now, but I'm sure there's a lot of chores that you can do at home. Sometimes that helps us feel better when we help other people. And the last step is the 5-finger breathing. We talked about that some time ago, but let's practice it. So if you make 5 with your fingers, take your index finger with your other hand, and when you go up, you breathe in, and when you go down, you breathe out. Let's try it. So that should help you feel calm even right now. Breathing is so important, and I know we practice a lot of different breathing techniques just on this slide here. So the last one for this week is that 5-finger breathing. So bears, which one can you commit to for this week? Take a look at those 5. When you're feeling frustrated and you want to feel better or calm or ready to learn, I want you to pick one that you'll focus on this week. So let me zoom in, take another look. Pick one for yourself for this week that you will commit to. Okay, great, because it's important to be mindful and it's important to take care of yourself. So our word of the year is resilience. We have done really good being resilient, and that is when we just keep on going and we bounce back like Tigger, and we're able to deal with difficult situations and be adaptable and flexible. As we practice being resilient, we have to remember to have a growth mindset. It's so important not to be fixed in our mindset, but to have a growth mindset, to be free to learn, free to make mistakes, free to learn from others. So let's talk about our focus for our growth mindset this week. Let me zoom in. For this week, instead of saying, I am afraid I will make a mistake, we are going to say, when I make a mistake, I will learn from it and get better. One more time. A fixed mindset says, I'm afraid I'll make a mistake. I don't want to do that. A growth mindset says, when I make a mistake, I will learn from it and get better. That's a growth mindset. So this week, Beethoven Bears, let's think about those times when we are not sure and we think we're going to make a mistake. Instead of not trying, let's go ahead and try. And even if you make the mistake, tell ourselves that we're going to learn from those mistakes. Because if you never make mistakes, you'll never learn. No one knows how to do everything right all the time. You're bound to make mistakes. but it's those experiences that you learn from and you get stronger. And that mind, that's a muscle, your brain, it grows, and that's what you want. So can you do that, Beethoven Bears? Okay. Oh my goodness. The box is back. Let's see what the box has for us. Wow, it has been a long time since the box was with us, but it's back. Here it is, the box. Let's find out what's in the box. What do you have for us today, box? Let's see. Well, Beethoven Bears, this is what the box brought today. And oh, I know, it's on the back. Let me fix that. The box has a special message for us. We know these are flip-flops, right? So the box wants us to flip-flop our mistakes. So one is the flip. We make a mistake, right? That's what we think is negative. But we flip it into a learning opportunity and make it positive. Flip, flop. Let's flip, flop our mistakes. Yes, that's a great strategy. Let's look at that strategy. Flip that flop. So a flop is, well, you made a mistake. You didn't do something right. And for example, you're in a play and you forget a line. You're acting in a play for your school and you forget to say a line. Well, that's really your flop. But we're going to flip it and you remember that you didn't forget any of your other lines. So you may have forgotten one line, but you had 10 lines. And so you remembered the other 10. That's making it positive because yes, you made a mistake, but you also remembered 10 other lines. Okay, here's another flip-flop. Now, the flop is supposed to be the mistake, but I called it the flip. So the flip is, I added when I should have subtracted. Okay, that was your flop. That was your mistake. But how did you flip it? Well, I saw my mistake and I created some problems to practice. So you realize you were making this mistake. You're adding when you're supposed to subtract. So you gave yourself 5 extra problems just to go ahead and practice making sure you followed the right routine in math. That is your flip. So we want to flip our flop. We want to take our flop, our mistake, and flip it into something positive, into a learning opportunity. So this week, Beethoven Bears, when you're making a mistake, flip it. Flip that flop. Make that mistake become a learning opportunity that you can grow from. Thank you, Box. What a great idea with flip-flop. Beethoven Bears, I want to share someone with you. His name is Michael Jordan. If you don't know Michael Jordan, he was a really successful basketball player, probably one of the best basketball players of all time. Before there was a Kobe Bryant, there was a Michael Jordan. Let's watch a quick clip about a quote that he said that's all about making mistakes and learning from them. Take a look.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
I hope you enjoyed that quote, Beethoven Bears, and that clip of Michael Jordan. If you've never seen him before, now you've seen Michael Jordan, and you might recognize the logos at the bottom because he has lots of shoes in his honor called Air Jordans. So this is the quote that he read in that clip. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. Wow, that's a lot. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed, because he learned from those mistakes. He didn't tell you that, but that is what he wants you to understand, that he learned from those mistakes. Had he never missed those shots, lost those games, and not made those winning shots, he would have never learned how to make a better shot, how to learn from his mistakes, how to work with his team to win those games. So even the most successful sports players or people that you know make mistakes, and they really become successful from making a lot of them. So don't feel bad when you make a mistake. Learn from it. That's our growth mindset for this week, Beethoven Bears. I know you can do it, and I know that we can work towards learning from our mistakes. Now I want to talk a little bit about the safe steps to safe schools. I gave you parts of the puzzle, so today is part 2. We've talked about COVID testing, arriving to school, daily pass, and healthy habits. Today we're going to talk about cohorts and schedules, class and classroom setup. Let's take a look. So what is hybrid and online? Hybrid is when you come to school for 3 hours with your teacher. You do asynchronous independent work for another 3 hours, roughly. You're in a small cohort of about 14 students. You practice health guidelines like wearing a mask, social distancing, hand washing, and most of our hybrid students will be on campus at school from 8 to 11 a.m. Now, what's online? Online is for students who continue to work online or virtually with their teacher. They'll see their teacher for 3 hours virtually, and they'll do asynchronous independent work for about 3 hours. Most online students will be with their teacher from 12 to 3 p.m. So that's the difference between hybrid and online. Your parents have decided what they think is best for you, and we're going to honor their choices and continue to make sure that we have the best opportunities for our hybrid students who are coming to school and our students that will remain online. So what is cohorts? This idea of cohorting, what is that? For our hybrid students, based on the size of our classrooms at Beethoven, we can put 14 students in one cohort because they can safely be together in the classroom with 6 feet distance. So cohorts are kept together for the entire day to decrease the chances of spreading the virus. So cohorts will stay together, they'll play together at recess, and they'll eat snack together at recess. So if you're in a cohort with your teacher, you won't be playing or interacting with other cohorts at the school so that we can remain safe. And that's so if someone gets sick and you are playing with others in different cohorts, that cohort would get sick and the other cohort would get sick. So to make sure that we decrease the chances of that happening, cohorts will stay together. I know that's a little different from how we usually are at Beethoven, but you'll still be able to see your friends in your class and you'll be able to see your other friends from a distance. Now let's talk about our new schedule. Our new schedule starts the week of April 19th. Yes, Beethoven Bears. Starting the week of April 19th, our entire schedule is changing for our online students and our hybrid students. The current schedule we have now, we won't be doing that same schedule. The schedule starts at 9 a.m. and then you go until lunch and then you do small groups after lunch, some days a week. We will not be doing that schedule anymore. We have a whole new schedule to learn. So let me zoom in so you can see it more clearly. On Monday, April 19th, all grade levels will have a 30-minute virtual check-in with their teacher. The rest of the day, you will do asynchronous work. So this is for our online and our hybrid students. That is on Monday, April 19th. I'll be working with the teachers and the staff to talk about safety measures for when students do come back on campus. On Tuesday, April 20th, TK, kindergarten, and first grade, your new schedule starts. Hybrid students will start. They will come to school at 8 a.m. and every day thereafter, our online students will start their schedule. On Wednesday, April 24th, our second and third graders start their new schedule. The hybrid students come on campus at 8 a.m. and every day thereafter, and our online students will start their new schedule. And on Thursday, April 22nd, our fourth and fifth graders start their new schedule. They'll come on campus at 8 a.m. and every day thereafter, and the online students will start their new schedule. And on Friday, April 23rd, all the grades that are hybrid will be on campus and all the online students will be in their new schedules. I know this is a lot to think about, and that's why every Monday morning assembly, I'll be giving you a little bit more information so that we can better understand our new schedules. But what we're doing is called a staggered start. Instead of having all the hybrid students from TK through 5th come on campus the same day, we're just having a couple grade levels at a time, starting with our younger students all the way to our older students, so that we can gently bring everybody into this process. Now, cohorts. So you're in 4 different groups at Beethoven. We have 4 cohorts of bears. We have our amazing astronomers. That's our Cohort A hybrid students who come on campus. And we have our brilliant biologists. That's our Cohort B hybrid students. We have our dynamic discoverers. That's our Cohort C, our online students, and our clever chemists. And those are our Cohort D online students. Now, the 2 really special cohorts are Cohort B and Cohort C. The majority of the students are in Cohort A, amazing astronomers. They come on campus in the morning. And Cohort D are clever chemists. They're online in the afternoon, the PM. The 2 special cohorts B, the brilliant biologists, they are hybrid in the PM, in the afternoon. So they actually come to school at 12 o'clock. And our Cohort C is another special cohort, our dynamic discoverers. They're online in the morning from 8 to 11 a.m. Now, these special cohorts are needed for classes that are larger in size, where there's more students wanting to be hybrid. So very, very, very few students are in our brilliant biologists and our dynamic discoverer group. So I just wanted to make that note. So let's look at the schedules for our 4 cohorts of bears. The amazing astronomers are going to come on campus from 8 to 11 all week. Our brilliant biologists are going to come on campus from 12 to 3 all week. Our dynamic discoverers are online from 8 to 11, and our clever chemists are online with their teacher from 12 to 3. Now here's a better way to see the schedule. Let's take a closer look. So here we have AM, which is 8 to 11 a.m., and PM, which is 12 to 3 p.m. So look at the 4 groups. You see our astronomers, our biologists, our discoverers, and our chemists. Let's start with our astronomers. From 8 to 11, they are on campus with the teacher in the classroom, practicing all of our health guidelines. In the afternoon, our astronomers are doing independent work. They might be at home or they may be at school in our supervision program. Our brilliant biologists in the AM from 8 to 11 are doing independent work. They may be at school in supervision or they might be at home. And then 12 to 3, they come on campus and they're with their teacher. Those are the 2 hybrid cohorts. Our dynamic discoverers and our clever chemists are all online. So for our discoverers from 8 to 11 a.m., they're online with their teacher in the AM. And in the afternoon, our dynamic discoverers are doing independent work. Our clever chemists in the AM are doing independent work, and in the afternoon, they're online with their teacher. So just take a look and you'll see. Look at the blue area with the girl that's on her computer. Everybody has independent work time. Everybody has time where they will work independently. This is the change in our new schedule. And if you look at our hybrid students, they're with their teacher either in the morning or the afternoon. If you look at our dynamic discoverers and our chemists, our online students, they are online with their teacher either in the morning or the afternoon. I hope that schedule helped you to better understand what each cohort is doing in the AM 8 to 11 hours and in the PM 12 to 3 p.m. hours. Now let's look at the classroom setup. Let me zoom in. Your classrooms will look a lot different than they normally look because we need to adhere to guidelines that are set for coming back to school safely. And I've showed you some pictures, but I just want to show you some other pictures as well. As you can see, the desks are facing forward, and there's only one chair at the desk, and there's an X. There's an area that you're not to sit at. There will be hand sanitizer stations throughout. There's a teacher work zone, so your teacher has her area that she's going to be at, which will be towards the front of the classroom. The doors and windows will be open for ventilation, and the air conditioning and heating ventilation will be on to keep the air circulating. We'll try to create some walking paths in the room. You'll be 6 feet apart from another student. You will have your own materials, so there won't be any sharing of materials. Every student will have their own box or bag of materials, and we'll have plenty of supplies for sanitizing and masks. So that's a little preview of how the classrooms will look. All the desks facing forward, sitting one person at a desk. We can fit about 14 students in every classroom, and your teacher will have their own area. Now I'd like to show you a quick video about a day in the life of an elementary student. Let's look at a student who's coming to school during this time, and she is a hybrid student. So she is actually one of our amazing astronomers or brilliant biologists. So let's look at a day in the life of a hybrid student. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Mia, and I'm in 2nd grade. I'm really excited about going back to school. I know that lots of people have questions about what it will be like. My friends and I got to visit our school, and we made a video about our day. Some of my friends took the bus. When they got on the bus, someone took their temperature and asked them if they were feeling okay, to make sure everyone on the bus was safe. Of course, no matter how we got to school, everyone was wearing a mask. When we got to school, we all lined up at the entrance. We're supposed to stay 6 feet apart, and school made it easy by putting stickers on the ground telling us where to stand. When it was my turn, the person at the gate asked me if I agreed with what it said on the sign. Then, I showed him my daily pass and he took my temperature. It only took a few seconds. I walked down the path to get to my class. I saw some of my friends going to their classes too. There were cones and lines and arrows on the pathway to make sure that I stayed on the right side and went the right direction. When I got to my classroom, my teacher brought us in one at a time and showed us where to sit. There weren't as many desks in the classroom as usual, and they were farther apart. And we each got our own supplies. It was really great to see my teacher and friends in person and not on Zoom. After a little while, we got to go to recess. I stayed with my class and we played outside. Before I went back to class, I went to use the restroom. Only a couple of us could go in at a time. Some of the stalls were closed and the sinks were blocked off, so only 2 of us could wash our hands or use the bathroom at a time. Then we went back to class and kept learning. When it was time to go, my teacher called each of us up to get our lunch. It was like when we had breakfast in the classroom, but everything was already in a bag for us. Then he let us leave, one at a time. Some of my friends went home and some went to the after-school program. I went to the after-school program and it was really fun. I ate my lunch there. They helped me with my homework and we played. My dad came to get me at the end of the day. I had so much fun. I can't wait for school to start.
Hey Beethoven Bears, I hope you enjoyed that video and got a better understanding of what it'll look like when you're here on campus if you are one of our amazing astronomers or our brilliant biologists. How can you continue to prepare? Your parents should be working on scheduling you a COVID-19 test if you're a hybrid student, and you need that about 7 days before we come back on campus. So about April 13th, you should have your COVID test. When you're on campus, our hybrid students have to maintain social distance, wear a mask properly, and be able to wear it for long periods of time, and of course, wash your hands often. Now let's talk about our weekly announcements for April 5th through April 9th. Today, Monday, April 5th at 1:30 p.m. is a grade level meeting for the teachers. On Tuesday, April 6th at 6 p.m., Friends of Beethoven is having a parent meeting. All are welcome. On Wednesday, April 7th, I'm having a Cocoa with Mrs. Fields. I'll talk a little bit more about that next. On Thursday, April 8th, it is Holocaust Remembrance Day. And on Friday, April 19th at 1:30 p.m., we're having our COVID Task Force meeting. Cocoa with Mrs. Fields. I have coffee with the principal, so I thought about having a cocoa with my students. I'm sure there are many questions you have about coming back to school, so I would like to set up a cocoa with you. You can bring some cocoa, either cold or warm, and we can chat about coming back to school. So on Wednesday, April 7th, I have 3 different times for our Beethoven Bears to visit. At 2 p.m., it's for TK Kinder and First, 3 p.m. Second and Third, and at 4 p.m. for Fourth and Fifth. So the Zoom ID number is at the top, and this will go out to your families, bit.ly/Cocoa capital Bears. You just have to make sure you have your parents' permission, and you're welcome to join me to talk about what's going on when school starts and all the questions that you might want to ask me. Now let's talk about our special announcements. Let's talk about the ReadAthon. We have some great news to share. For our ReadAthon, we raised $3,740. Way to go, Beethoven! And read 16,980 minutes. Wow, that's amazing. So our top fundraiser for our ReadAthon is Hendrix from room 10. He raised $750. Way to go, Hendrix. And our top readers from kindergarten, we have Eden from room 9. She read 1,050 minutes. In first grade, Nora from room 23. She read 1,850 minutes. In second grade, Parker from room 20. Wow, he read 2,450 minutes. In third grade, Ray from room 18. He read 200 minutes. In fourth grade, Emma M. from room 15, she read 1,470 minutes. And in fifth grade, our top reader is Finnegan Freed in room 11. He read 2,330 minutes. I had to look closer. Let's zoom in so you can see. Congratulations to those top readers, and way to go, Hendrix, on being our top fundraiser. Thank you again to our parents, Miss Catherine and Miss Lauren, for coordinating Beethoven's first ever ReadAthon. Now let's talk about our Red Apple honorees. Who's getting the Red Apple this week? Let's take a look. I would like to honor our COVID Compliance Task Force team. This is a team of many different Beethoven staff members that are coming together to make sure we're following all the protocol and keeping in mind all the things that we need to do to be compliant as we reopen our school. I want to thank Mrs. Mills, Miss Evans, Miss Mencia, Miss French, Miss Webster, Miss Vandenbroek, Miss Morales, Mr. Hernandez, and Simon. Thank you for being a part of this COVID Task Force team, and I look forward to meeting with you on Friday. Now it's time for happy birthdays! Parents, thank you so much for your pledges to Friends of Beethoven. We're going to honor your bears for their birthday. Here are birthday bears. Let's zoom in. Let's wish K-Doc a happy birthday. K-Doc's birthday is today, April 5th. Happy birthday, K-Doc. And let's wish Logan from room 9 a happy birthday. His birthday is on Saturday, April 11th. We have a few staff members that have birthdays too. Miss Lisa's birthday was actually on March 31st during spring break. Happy belated birthday, Miss Lisa. And Miss Rodriguez from room 23, her birthday is also on April 11th, like Logan. It is on Saturday. Happy early birthday, Miss Rodriguez. Happy birthday to our Beethoven Bears and to our Beethoven staff. Are you ready to wrap up this morning? Let's wrap it up. Let's get our sign language ready. Get those fingers ready. Our first letter is R. Be respectful. Very good. Now to your shoulder. Be responsible. Good. Now for safety, make your X with your fingers closed, thumbs towards your face. Be safe. safe and out. And our last is our sign language for friend. Be a buddy, not a bully. Because what are we? We are winners! What are we, Beethoven Bears? We are winners! What are we? Winners! What are we? Winners! For this week, Beethoven Bears, remember to be resilient, and with a growth mindset, I want you to say, when I make a mistake, I will learn from it and get better. Can you do that, Beethoven Bears? All right, have a wonderful week. I'm so happy we're back together again, and I'm looking forward to continuing to give you more information about our new schedule that starts on April 19th. Bye-bye.